Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, graphic designer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
See skincare, see
Cool.
apparel.
Yeah. Content management, media management, 3D artist,
3D artist.
nightlife marketing.
Oh, man. I wonder, has there
Talk
been
about
any like really
nostalgia.
interesting? Yeah. I know. I was telling my friend, I was like, dude, I actually want to go to a club. Like, I want to dance at a club.
Yeah, I was never
Just because you
really.
can't.
Yeah.
Right, honestly. I also want to go to Wii Spa.
Oh, I love Wii Spa.
Where is We Spa? That's in LA.
It, yeah, it's a Korean spa. It's like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And you just like are naked uh and you're like watching yourself watching old Korean women scrub themselves while you scrub yourself. And
Okay.
sometimes they scrub you.
So it's like a hammam.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not as cute.
Also massive. You feel like you just step into a different world, like one
Yeah.
universe that just relaxes you. It's an extremely
Yeah,
cathartic experience.
totally.
All right, I'm going to share the slides now.
Cool. Hey, video marketing, apparel marketing, freelance photographer, marketing slash graphic designer. Freelance, just new to the freelance game. That's another, yeah. A lot of transportation marketing.
Interesting.
A
What is
drummer.
transportation marketing? Randy.
We have a drummer upstairs. It's been fun.
Oh, an e-commerce Shopify store? Beverage marketing. So much marketing.
So much.
Reviving social media accounts for university symposium. Ooh, this is
Yeah.
going to be fun.
Yeah.
So we should just describe while we're waiting for the screen share.
Oh, is it not
Or is that
up yet?
It's
no?
up.
I don't see it. Oh, you do? You see it? Oh my
I see
gosh!
it.
Then I'm
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's up.
my screen's lagging. If you guys want to go ahead and lead, I don't think I can. Sean, did you want to go ahead and?
Yeah, I can jump in here.
Okay.
So first and foremost, hello everybody. I'm Sean Rolfe, the founder of Copycat Copywriters. We're a copywriting collective based here in Santa Monica. And what we do is we build in-house writing teams for agencies, individual marketers, and brands. Essentially, when a client comes to us, we take their sector and their content needs and objectives, and we segment the two. And then we pair a writer that is extremely dexterous in both. So this would be a writer that is extremely experienced with the given industry, and then a writer that's experienced with a specific objective. These teams can be as small as one writer with a dedicated editor, or 5 to 10 writers to support agency bandwidth. For us, it's not about finding a great creator that can create across a bunch of verticals. It's about finding the perfect one.
My turn.
I was thinking Shaw was there.
I'm Danica Daly. I'm the founder of Danica Daly PR. So we are a full service PR agency. We take a 360 approach to what we do. So we do media placements, influencer collaborations, brand partnerships, content creation, and usually events. And then we just do like any kind of cool campaigns that we think will get our clients' names out there. So whatever that means, we just like to think out the box and have fun. And I'm really excited today to help some of you pivot, your communication, your marketing, how you're getting your name out there, etc.
Awesome. So first, we're just going to go through some stats that we've been seeing in general in terms of marketing during this time. And Sean, if you wanted to talk through some of these, and in the meantime, if you haven't already put in the chat, maybe put your name, what your business is about, what your marketing goals are, and what's been tough during this time, because we definitely want to hear from all of you and kind of understand what your pain points are.
Yeah.
So a lot of people during this time are kind of all figuring it out. You know, it's a huge period of confusion for a lot of people. And from what we've been seeing from our community, a lot of people are asking, how do I market myself when you don't have a strategy, you might not have money, you don't know when all of this will end, and you're really afraid to do or say the wrong thing. So good news, we're all in this together. I don't think anyone has a playbook in terms of how to approach marketing during a global pandemic. And even though it's really scary and frustrating right now, it is comforting to know that we are all trying to figure this out at the same time, and no one has it figured out completely. Yeah. And I think that it's a lot about communicating with each other, talking through pain points, and just being really transparent. I think that's ultimately how we're all going to get through this and figure it out. So yeah, we just wanted to first hit you with the good stuff, that data, to kind of give you some contextual information about what's going on right now. So we'll have Sean, who Copycat Copywriters pulled together an amazing guide to marketing, where how many case studies did you guys look through?
I think it was like over 30 and all published within the last 45 days.
Oh my gosh.
Directly related to the pandemic and exactly how consumer behavior and marketing trends are shifting.
Your team did an incredible job. This is so robust. And like, I don't know if it's available yet on your website or if it will be.
It is. We built a landing page this morning, and we'll be sending it out to everybody for a free download.
Awesome. We'll definitely check it out. Because if you're just interested in how a bunch of different businesses are approaching all of this, definitely check it out, because I learned a lot. But yeah, these are some stats that Sean's team pulled.
Yeah, so to touch on each of these stats just a little bit, I mean, there's a 20% increase in web traffic. I think as a whole, the internet is up 50%. And I don't think this should come as a surprise to anyone, because we have more time on our computers, we have more time on mobile. One thing that I want to say specifically to that is a lot of this traffic is actually not coming from mobile. People are going back to their desktops. Google for a very long time has been trying to direct everything to mobile. In fact, in marketing, when you're launching a website, if your website isn't formatted for mobile, it's usually a big mistake, because that's half your audience, half the people that are going to be interacting with your platform. But yeah, there are people that are scouring every end of the internet right now, be it for their own entertainment, to find answers, and to look for resources during this time. 30% consumers are paying more attention. This one is huge. People want to hear from you. That is what we are taking away from all of this. They're paying more attention to email, to SMS. Paid ad impressions are down, but people are paying more attention to them. I think it's because people are inherently more reactionary right now. They tend to look at something and have a direct response, just given the nature of the times. But what this means is that your audience is there. And despite deals being down, this type of traffic and this type of engagement is kind of unparalleled for the digital marketer. We haven't necessarily seen this much responsiveness towards a lot of marketing messaging. 43% of consumers say they feel reassured to hear from brands they trust. I actually think that right now we might be reorganizing trust pyramids as a whole. And what I mean by that is a lot of people are sidestepping government sources and actually looking to brands to provide resources and answers and support during this time. And this is a huge stat for me here, because this directly relates to the way that people are actually leaning into our current messaging and marketing efforts, and that they feel valued and heard. And I think that's so important for us to realize right now, is the emotional aspect of everybody being in this together. And at the front of the beginning of this guide, you spoke on it, you know, you're not alone. And this directly plays to that. 44% people are spending more time on social media. I mean, I don't think that anybody needed to tell you that social media is up right now. We have all the time in the world to be on all social media platforms, looking to digest content. I wanted to speak to something there really quickly, is that right now we're digesting content at a rate that we haven't seen before, and people are so hungry for content. I think we're speaking to a lot of content creators on this call. So there are going to be a lot of dynamics that directly pertain to that idea of content and how to create content for now, and how to create content that's not tone deaf and that is effective given the times. Sean, do you want me to continue here on freelancer slide?
Ooh. Sure, yeah, if you want to, it'd be great.
Yeah, okay, absolutely. So COVID-19 is likely going to help the gig economy long-term, widen benefits and increase demand for remote work post-pandemic. I think we're actually going to see a massive innovation in what the workplace looks like. I mean, we're talking about these massive rounds where people have been furloughed and they've been laid off, and companies are actually having to rearrange their structures and rearrange the way in which they're going to be outsourcing a lot of these tasks that still need to be completed, despite the fact that they're losing a lot of their team. And I think right now it's a very difficult time for everybody, but as this continues, there are going to be a lot of opportunities that are created for freelancers, and perhaps even an opportunity for freelancers to band together and improve the way in which they're treated in the marketplace. And that's one of the things that you're speaking on right there is widen benefits. You know, the idea of the freelancer for forever has been, here's one, they get sick, we can replace them. Here's the next one. And I think this concept and this philosophy is subject to change after this pandemic and during it.
And yeah, I think ultimately everyone has a lot of anxiety about how they can position their services, but people want to know what you're doing, and they want to know mostly what you could do for them, which is really important. You're not bothering people by talking about what you're able to offer. It's a lot about strategically thinking about how you can offer them something that they need right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we have aggregated 3 examples from Danica, Sean, and Puno about kind of what they've been seeing in the whole marketing space right now. So we pulled some inspiration, and we've been seeing some crazy cool moves by small businesses that happened really, really quickly. And these are just some examples that really, really stuck out to us. So overall, what we're seeing is compassionate storytelling and being able to give back what you can and stay positive is super important. We've been seeing a lot of brands pivoting. For example, brands who never made face masks before are getting into the face mask making business, leaning into your niche. So really owning what makes you different, community building, creating partnerships and supporting your current audience, really listening to what their needs are. And vulnerability is huge. The more that we're able to just be transparent with people and let them know what you're going through and what they're going through, the more likely we are to have people tell you what they need.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna jump in here. This is Let's Stay Out. They're one of our clients and a great example of an effective brand pivot during the current times. So Let's Stay Out is an app that's based in London, and they're a hybrid between a matchmaking service and an online ticketed event platform. So what they would do is they would connect singles and socialites alike and then entice them to go experience events in London that were ticketed. Well, when COVID happened, obviously one half of their platform is upended because they can no longer send people to these events. And the platform was based upon the premise that these socialites and singles were going to create more genuine connections when they get to interact first at an event like this or at an event that they curate. So what Vicky Chang did, the CEO of Let's Stay Out, is she decided to run a 24-hour rebrand, and they rebranded from Let's Stay Out to Let's Stay In. And I think there's something really important about that specific move is the fact that she met consumers where they are, and she met her members where they are, which is at home. And you can see that right there from the copy. They actually completely rebranded the logo. So if you go to letsstayout.com right now, it's going to be Let's Stay In, and it's genuine connection from home. If you can hit the slide, Sean, that'd be amazing. And so this is the original copy that you're seeing on the left side, and this is ripped directly from the web. And you can see that they're talking about sparking genuine connections through online events. So what they did is they actually took those offline events and brought them into the virtual space. So they started offering collective yoga classes and painting classes and connected people online. One really important point about that is that they actually addressed a pain point that a lot of singles are feeling right now, is that they're alone and their outlets to socialize and to meet other people and to date romantically have been removed from them. Part of the greater narrative is not only did Vicky decide to address her members, but she then empowered her members and leaned into the community and the health of the collective by allowing them to donate to the World Health Organization's Solidarity Fund for COVID-19, and they could donate directly to these virtual events that they were attending. In which case, how she was rewarded for this and the results is that she had seen a direct plummet in day-to-day downloads and membership engagement. And after this pivot, they're back up to where they were prior to COVID. And she got a feature in Glamour magazine and Metro UK. So I really think this is a gorgeous pivot that incorporates a lot of the different phenomenons we're seeing now.
Yeah, I think that on my end, like just seeing from LCD, Geraldine, and seeing how retail stores have been needing to pivot because, 80%, 70%, a majority of their revenue would come from retail, people on the streets. And they kind of lost all of that overnight and had to close down and had to also furlough employees. So what I thought was really interesting was just, especially Geraldine, how much she she was a company of one at this point and really had to do everything from fulfillment to marketing to talking to wholesalers and negotiating like when she's going to pay for everything. And I think a lot of people are feeling that right now is just like there's not enough money. So you kind of have to be a high level slashy really, really quickly. But in all of this, what I thought was great is that she really took the time and was, through all of this craziness, decided to be herself and be transparent and tell people like how much her business was hurting, which is not an easy thing to do. And it's a very vulnerable thing to do because, you're talking about like how much money you're making and you need people to buy clothes when they're not going out. But I think she did a really great approach for it because she's showing how hard she's working, showing the unsexy things. I mean, if you're a photographer, like there are some unsexy things about your business that makes people appreciate more and value what you do. And that's how I felt as a consumer was, wow, I got to really see like Homegirl is like fulfilling these. She's writing hand letter notes. She's crying when she's fulfilling an order for a candle. Like that kind of stuff makes me want to purchase with her more. And I think that like, it's just one of those things where it's not an easy thing to do, especially during this time. But people notice. And I think we're a kinder community now, especially going through all of this that, like we're all humbled. Everybody is humbled. Everybody has the like everything is even. And the people that are doing a little bit better are genuinely appreciative of where they're at. So like this is a great time to just not give a shit about what you're putting out there as long as it's genuine and authentic for you. And Sometimes that could mean the really bad stuff too. I was trying to help her out in some way, and so she was like, I don't have money to, put it into ads, and I don't want to compete also with her brands. So what she did was she was like, what do I have in my network? And I think that's like the really interesting thing about someone who has been stripped of all of their resources is you still have some resources. Like there's still some things that you can tap. And for Geraldine, she still had friends that she could create content with, that could talk about LCD in a different way, show it in a different way. And so she started doing these more influencer-based marketing programs, which is just like the reaction to it was just so quick. And I think that's just for any of you guys that have friends, like, leverage each other, because it's a valuable thing. I remember when I was talking to Downtown Women's Center about like, just like, what do you guys need? Like, do you need, donations or whatever? And Joe was telling me, he was like, I really just would love your connections and your insight. And I think that's like actually super helpful for me, because they don't always have the same connections as you do, or they don't have the way to tell a story the like you do. So, so that would be like my whole like thought about LCD.
I'd love to add to that before moving into sunscreen for indoors. So we have a couple like retail clients. One is a store called TA that was supposed to actually open the week that everything went on lockdown in New York City. So she never really got to open. And, we were like, okay, within 24 hours, let's put up an e-commerce site, that kind of thing. But also making sure that your products are kind of fitting the time. So anytime we do any outreach or any like, Instagram posts or anything like that, we're pulling things that look like they'd be good to wear at home. Like here are some like comfy pieces to elevate your Zoom game, or like things like that. Or like a handbag brand that we work with. They have like these little mini bags, and we were like, here's the hands-free little mini pouch to hold your hand sanitizer and your essentials. So things like that. Like you want to take what you have and make it fit what people need right now. Mm-hmm. And also, for example, Sunray, they're one of our clients. It's a amazing product. It is like the best SPF ever. It's super clear, so it's like a gel-based sunscreen. It goes on kind of like, it's not sticky like honey, but it looks like honey, and it's like really just like luxe, and it feels great, and it doesn't have a smell. And what we did, because, you have to be inside, we shifted our strategy from luxe escapism to premium education on wearing sunscreen indoors, because that is actually important. It's important to wear SPF every day, but some people don't know that. They, like sitting at the window, like I'm literally getting sun damage right now. And I'm like 10 feet away from the window. So you want to like, make sure that you're wearing sunscreen indoors. And by changing that message, we've, landed placements during this time in Forbes for them, and in Vogue, Allure, a bunch of places. And I mean, they've been getting consistent press. Or, we even talked about multiple uses for sunscreen. So like you're washing your hands even more than usual right now. So like your hands are getting really dry. So like if you have like a luxe formula like Sunray, you can use it as a hand cream. And it's also great for anti-aging because of the vitamins and the antioxidants and things like that. So, we're just like talking about multiple uses, how to get dewy skin when you're indoors, protecting your skin still while you're indoors, and that kind of thing. And it's really still latched on, and, they've been doing really well.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So now we're going to get into the therapy part of the forum. And so we're going to ask everyone to just use their raised hand emoji if you have a question, and I will call on you and we'll ask you to get off mute and kind of talk to our panelists and kind of work through everyone's pain points. So yeah, if you have a question, please just use that clap emoji, and we'll take a few seconds and I'll select somebody from our attendees to get on video chat.
Is it the raise hand on the chat?
Yes.
Sweet. I just did it. Okay, so, and we're gonna have about like 8 minutes for each person?
Yes, we will.
Cool. Oh, you guys are shy. Oh no, wait, okay, no, there we go.
That works too, that's fine.
Go
ahead, Sean, who you picking?
All right. We will have Lily come on. Lily, where are you?
Oh, I think people are looking for the clap emoji on their computer.
Oh, she's just like, clap.
Laugh out loud.
It's command control space. But yeah, or raise hand. I see raise hands.
There's so many people. I think Lily, where'd
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Boy,
Yeah.
can we see you?
Hi.
Hi, Lily.
Hello. Hi. It's really late here, so don't mind me if I'm being a bit dizzy.
Okay.
But because it's 2:30 in the morning. So my question would be, if you don't really have your business yet, but you kind of want to kickstart it now, are there any tips and tricks how to get it out there and get it seen and get traffic on there?
Now's the best time to start a business, honestly, because we all have more time.
Oh, that I was like, wait, what?
You're like, why? No, because you have time to, I mean, starting a business entails a lot. Like there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. So like now is the time that you have the time to like create everything that you need so that you're ready to communicate before or even when you're launching. Can you share what the business is yet?
Well, it's kind of supposed to be selling like some sort of lifestyle, but more as like a block format. But it's more supposedly to be like Berlin in the more enjoyable way, because Berlin is usually connoted to clubbing, techno, partying, but not really like, like a enjoyable lifestyle, but also for more like not super cheap, not like a student lifestyle, but still how to get pleasurable moments out of like a bit of a more affordable side, because it's either way in Berlin, it's really cheap or really expensive. There's a hard to get the like meet me in the middle kind of situation.
Wait, so is it a product? Like you actually selling a product or?
No, not really. I mean, only maybe the underwear, but
okay.
The cowboy underwear, but that would be a side project. It would be more or less like a blog sort of situation.
Okay,
which
like
would
a social
be,
platform.
Yeah, exactly.
For locals or for tourists? Or both?
Both, preferably. So for locals to maybe experience their own city in a different manner and different way than they maybe think they could. And for tourists that do not just want to go to Berghain and just club all night. So
Gotcha. So with this lifestyle that you're creating, are you going to essentially be building content around certain tips that you would give that people could experience Berlin in a certain way that mirrors and replicates this lifestyle? Or is it specific to nightlife and the hot and happening Berlin?
No, it would be more content that kind of makes, like, I really enjoy the marketing that is not too much in your face, but you see something, you kind of want to you kind of want to embody that and go for that. So it would be more
Yeah.
like selling the fantasy in a way.
Gotcha.
I feel like I had a friend who I actually had I wouldn't call it a business. I would call it a content website made with Map, and it was about travel. It was really hard to create a business out of that for me.
Yeah.
But my friend who did it in Copenhagen was kind of like building out it was more than a blog, but it was definitely like content for a city. And what she ended up getting out of that was she's built an agency that helped local businesses basically like doing their social content, helping them with their design. Like the amount of leads she got was so much because she started that website. And she did some placements, but you know, it wasn't like a full-time thing because she didn't really put her face into in front of it. I feel like that's always something where I'm not really sure exactly like how you want it to generate revenue, or if it's more of just like I just want to put that content out there and see what happens, because that's totally chill too, you know. What are you feeling?
I mean, it would be nice, I guess, to get a bit more out of it, than just the whole getting that, I don't know, exposure. Some revenue would be nice, but it wouldn't be just mainly like the main point of it. It's more or less for, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain to.
So I have a few ideas. So if it's going to be solely content, number one, I think now, like I said, now is a great time to really get prepped and, you know, have everything, all your ducks in a row. Now is a great time to do some research. Now is a great time to start putting out some like, you know, feeler content. So like a pre-launch, so that you can kind of share, like, here are some things, here are some businesses you can support in Berlin. Here are people that are, you know, like maybe even restaurants. Here are some restaurants that are doing really great brunch kits for home, or like, you know, kind of pulling together that kind of information. Or anyone that's doing like really great, I don't know, Zoom conferences, anything that's happening that people can do indoors in Berlin, I think is a great way to soft launch. Once you figure out, you know, the first steps of what does this platform look like, you spend the time kind of laying it all out, doing the research, what kind of businesses are you going to include in this, and just really get everything laid out and organized. But once you do, like I said, now is a great time to say, like, here are some businesses to support. And then later on, you know, you can have maybe itineraries, or you could sell itineraries. If you did want to get some revenue, maybe even, you know, beyond that, when we're able to do things, you know, and social distancing, maybe, I mean, I'm sure we'll be like social distancing for a little while or doing things in smaller groups, but maybe you could do like walking tours, or like, you know, create little small, like 6-person packages where, you know, people can come in, you do like a food tour, walking tour, you know, take them to a museum of some sort, like, you know, whatever it is that, you know, whichever direction you want to go with the activities. You could do something like that to generate revenue, and also do advertising, because with businesses now coming out of lockdown soon, they're going to need as much help as possible. So maybe even doing like sponsored posts and advertising, but also keeping in mind that they haven't been making revenue for a while. So keeping it fairly inexpensive as well to start, especially since you'll just be starting out too.
Yeah. And just to end it, I think if you don't know, that is totally fine. And just take this time to experiment, because that just will lead you towards other options and other paths. But for sure, no matter what you do, even if you're sharing your art or you're sharing your business, you should build a community with it, and you should share the stuff that you create. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to the next one.
Thank you.
Thank
Of course.
you.
Nice to meet you, Lily.
Let's see that underwear.
Next, can we have Leah, the owner of Unlit, come off mute?
Unlit. Is this up now? Is there a website I can look at?
And then
Or-
Yeah, it is up.
Sweet.
Ugh, you called on me.
Oh, do you want us to not call it you?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay, so I raised my hand because right now my biggest problem area or issue, I would say, is I'm just not great at marketing and writing emails. And I've been thinking about like building an app, and I started building like a Twilio app for SMS marketing instead, because I can get out like a few hundred characters as opposed to content.
Yeah.
So I guess, what are your thoughts about that for copy? I also, I kind of had issues with, in the beginning when I first like created the drink, I guess like promoting drinking, even though that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays.
Yeah.
And self-service and quarantine really isn't serving a lot of people well.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just like finding my voice, matching up the branding and the messaging to it, and the consistency of it all, because I do get pretty down. And then I guess any advice for like CEOs that have a lot of anxiety, because I do crawl into my hole, and then I'm just like, oh, this is so hard, like between production and manufacturing and accounting, and then I have to think about the marketing side. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of drink is it? So it's a plant-based hangover recovery drink. It has electrolytes, B vitamins, amino acids, and liver detoxifiers in it.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
If I like ate too much popcorn and like crawfish, and I ate a big lasagna yesterday too, then I feel a little funny today.
Well, I would recommend our activated charcoal flavor, because it'll just
Amazing.
work for you.
Yeah.
So I'm checking it out. It's really cute.
I think one of the things here too is your product is actually quite relevant to now, because one of the things that we're seeing a massive spike in alcohol sales.
Yes.
In fact, Suzy, this consumer research software platform, their CEO, Matt Brighton, he actually speaks about an entirely new category of product, which is sanity products. So products that we are leaning on right now as coping mechanisms during this time. And given that people have more time to be at home and they're with their families or their loved ones or their roommates, they are drinking. And I think having this product in the market now, it sounds amazing to me. I love this. I love the idea behind it. In regards to your communication around it and the copy, what is the specific pain points that you're dealing with right now? Is it about how to communicate during COVID, or is it just a general difficulty of communicating your product?
It's a general difficulty in communicating. I have a software development background, and we drink a lot on tech teams. That's where the idea of the drink came from. But I was told, I'm not super great with talking to people and communicating. So that's my biggest pain point is, I guess, brand messaging and getting it out there. And
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting thing, because you're trying to get product market fit, right? You have a theory that you start with. Just like with I Love Creatives. When I first started I Love Creatives, I had a completely different idea about what problem I was solving. And I solved that problem-ish. And in that came all these other new problems that actually kind of, I think what's interesting is like, at least when you get started, you have so much more information about what's not working, And I think that space is it's hard on your like heart because you're just like, God damn.
It's so much data. I have the data, but how do I make data sexy?
Right. And it's like, okay, like even when we started I Love Creatives, we positioned it as a Craigslist for creative people. And now I'm not even saying that we're doing this well at all, but right now we're like, actually the need that we see is education and an approachable community to learn with. But like, I still like am trying to figure out how to say that as well. When you're thinking about, for the customers that have been drinking unlit, like, are there any of them that use it for different use cases at all? Or is it always just a hangover?
No, so okay, when I first created the drink last summer, my one friend, she was sick and she was like, well, can I just drink the drink? And I said, well, yeah, you can always take vitamins and electrolytes. Yeah. And she sends me this text and I put it on one of if you go to my Instagram highlights, where she was like, oh my God, I drank the drink and it worked and I felt great. She was like, bitch, I felt good.
You should have been recording that. You should have been like, say that again.
I put it on my highlights, but I wasn't sure. How do you quote, bitch, I felt good?
Just say it.
Say it.
You definitely know how to talk to people. I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
It's like that's.
So my friends are, I guess, what's the term? Uncensored. They're uncensored. And a few of them did write reviews, but a lot of them, I think they were trying to help me. So a lot of the reviews are more like fluff. And I was trying to let them like just keep it real, just like stay real and tell exactly, if you love the drink, love it. If you don't, then just say you don't love it and tell me what you don't love about it. Like, I just want everything to be honest.
Yeah. I think that that's what you're finding right now, right? Is like, when I first started, I felt like I had been reading all these articles about what you're supposed to do. And you're now finding your deal breakers. You're like, look, I don't like writing long email copy, but I can write a text message. And I think that is fine. Like, be in the space where you thrive, because this whole process and this journey is supposed to be fun for you.
Yeah.
Like, this is you making your own world. You get to market whatever the way you want to market. You don't have to put your friends, if you don't like your friend's quote, just delete it. It's not doing you any favors. Like, they'll be fine. Just give them another drink. They liked it so much.
Totally. And that authenticity and how much you love it will shine through your messaging. Once it's there, it's going to read that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've definitely gotten nothing but positive reviews. Everyone loves it, from the sales to the very few tastings that I've done. I guess my biggest thing is, well, now it's hard to do drink sales, because they said, like, when it's a beverage brand, you have to get sips to lips. So I guess, what will your tips be for sips to lips during, I guess, COVID-19?
I have lots of ideas that I want to share with you. Okay, so first of all, the branding is super cute. I love it. Yes, you can use "bitch, I feel good," because someone in the comments especially said, if lit is in your product name, you can definitely use that quote. But also, to get sips to lips. Okay, first of all, alcohol sales, I read today, are at $2 billion since the beginning of March.
Yeah.
So people are really drinking, and people are probably feeling like crap because they're also drinking all day, because it's like, we're literally like at an airport, like there's no rules, right? So you can drink at 9 a.m. So to get sips to lips, you can send some unlit out to influencers, send them out to editors. People are at home. People are looking for tasty drinks. Like, as far as your content, you could be doing like mocktail recipes with unlit, like on your Instagram, on Instagram stories, team up with like, maybe like one of my friends is her husband is a bartender, and he has like a new Instagram page where he's been doing recipes. So maybe you like team up with bartenders, like they're out of work right now. So like, you know, they may want to help you like create content. So you could like come together and like create like really great recipes together on IG stories or on IG live. But I think getting it out to people, especially influencers, just reach out to them and say, hey, I'd love to send you some goodies from my brand Unlit. May I have your address? Get it out to them. And then ask them, like, you know, say like, we're a pretty new brand and, you know, we'd love if you could tag us if you'd like, you know, that kind of thing, like just kind of put it out there. And that will definitely move mountains for you. Or like even, you know, how to not feel like crap during the quarantine.
Yeah.
You know, that's like an angle right there. So you want to think of angles because what you have right now is like, it is a beverage. And I think beverages are just as important as food right now. You know, especially since what you're doing is kind of reversing the effects of something that is a $2 billion industry as of today.
Yes, I thank you so much. Those are actually really good ideas. I guess the reason why I kind of fell back from social media was kind of like Pune says, you read an article, then you read another one, and then you get bogged down. And one of the articles that I read was social media is not real marketing. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out another channel to like get my drink out there, you know?
No, social media is totally real marketing. And every channel, like when you're doing marketing for anything, like you have to leave no stone unturned. So you need to go out to press, you need to go out to influencers, you need to touch IG Live, you need to send it to DJs to be drinking it while they're doing their DJ sessions on rooftops on Twitch. Like send it to as many people as you possibly can, especially now because people are paying attention. They're getting their packages because they're at home. Like you are in a great place. I think it's just about switching like the thought process behind, like, don't think like I can't do marketing, like just do it, like get it out there.
Okay.
Like, it's your passion, it's your baby.
Well, I want to say these the comments are really, really sweet. Thank you guys. I'm completely engaged in the conversation, so I can't respond now. But everyone hit me up if you can help.
Yeah, I told them to DM you and give feedback on like what they think, and you know, you be polite and just say like what you think you could do and to improve, and that's what we're all here for.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Sean, who's the next?
Next, we're going to have Tess, Completely Golden. So, Tess.
Yay. That's really exciting. Hi.
Tess, you're the winner. Come down.
It feels like that.
So what's up? Oh, she got muted.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
I am a retreat chef, and given that all of my retreats are canceled, I should be in Greece at the moment for 3 weeks cooking. And so I've been transitioning to more online Instagram. I started a live cooking show. I guess I'm just struggling with what is the niche thing kind of freaks me out because I don't really know how to do that in this new platform. So question there of like how to find my niche in that. I cook really healthy, clean, organic lifestyle diets, paleo, vegan, whatever people are into these days. But I'm also really into the collaboration of the event space. And I'm really missing that community of like connecting with people, networking, seeing their faces and like tasting food together. And so, yeah.
I mean, I'm just looking at your Instagram right now and it's gorgeous. And you also, and you also have really great engagement on your videos too. So how has your business actually been pivoted, and like, what is it that you need to market?
Well, I actually applied for the podcast thing that you guys had listed on your website, and that was really helpful in figuring out what it is that I want to be putting forward. I need to be making money, and that's like everybody's thing right now. All of the events were canceled, and so for the first end of the year, I don't have any income. So I've like downloaded a cookbook template and thinking about like how to work with photographers and get that all going. And I guess how to have my followers pay me for things, because otherwise they would be paying to attend a retreat or a workshop, and then I would just be there. So what that looks like.
What do they usually do at these workshops?
So a workshop could be like one that I did. I went to Aspen with a florist, and she had like 13 florists there, and they spent a week learning how to do flower arranging and installations. And I cooked for them and talked to them about how food really just like can nourish your body and end up boosting your creativity and inspiration and things like that. Other workshop could be a women's business empowerment coach, also actually in Colorado, hired me to do a retreat. And so doing like, she has her whole thing of manifestation and whatever, and then I come in, feed them, but then also talk to them about why food is so important when you're doing that work of self-empowerment, how to feed inside of yourself.
Yeah.
So
I think you're.
go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Danica.
So with a lot of, since like you said, with a lot of events being canceled now and like things like that, could you maybe tap into doing like online retreats for example, like wedding parties or bachelor parties that have been canceled, or bachelorette parties that have been canceled?
Wow. Yeah.
And like maybe like you charge a fee, and they can, like, you give them a list of ingredients for, you know, and supplies that they'll need like ahead of time. And then you can all cook together over Zoom or, you know, however, like whatever format you would want to do it, but you could charge for something like that. And it kind of would give people that sense of togetherness, especially when it's, I mean, you could do this like a group like what we're doing right now, but I think also for groups that would have been together and can't, it'll kind of give them that sense of like, okay, I'm cooking with my family or with my best friends, and like we're eating together, and it's like the same things, you know, and doing it as portions for 2 or however many are in their household, so kind of get a sense of like what they're looking for, you know, in that case. Or like even like, you know, I know Mother's Day is now, but it would be too late for that. But just to give it as an example in case, you know, other holidays are coming up, but like it could be something like putting together a Mother's Day brunch, you know, with your mom, even though she's maybe across the country or, you know, wherever. But charging people for that, and it's like there's like a group fee or like per participant, and you know, you have all of that like ready to go, and it's like a nice little thing.
Yeah. I see that happening a lot, and I just wonder, are people really wanting to do that? And maybe that's just
I think I just saw a comment go by that said they're actually looking for people to partner with to host a Zoom cooking class. And I think one of the things that you're dealing with right now is something that's such a big difficulty for a lot of people now. It's not how do I just invest in my platform and create brand value, but how do I make money right now? How do I pivot my services and actually sell them? And to that end, I think one of a good piece of advice there is to just really listen to your peers and to your consumer base right now. Just really spend time listening to their pain points and just trying to see if there's any little thing that you can solve, because any pain point that you solve right now is going to be so appreciated. And you're offering healthy meals, and we need to stay healthy right now. That's part of the agenda. That's one of the angles here, which is the fact that a lot of us aren't good at cooking. A lot of us are now forced to be at home and try to use, I mean, I'm one of them. I'm trying to figure it out myself, and relying on Postmates a bit too much. But the reality there is that there are pain points that you can solve with your service. And I think it's very current.
Okay. Well, thank you. And also, Leah, I loved your unlit thing, and I sent you a DM just in case.
Yay! Cool. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All right. Next, we have Anthony from Bob Cut Mag. I'm going to put you on, Anthony.
I'm gonna say, oh, hello all.
Hi.
Hello. Firstly, thank you for having us all. I'm very excited to be chatting with y'all today. So yeah, I run a site called Bob Cut Mag, bobcutmag.com, BOBCUTMAG. We're a local magazine that covers San Francisco. So things to do, people, style, you name it. It's, we cover a little bit of just everything that's going on in the city. So my question, something that we've been thinking about is, right now we're really taking in a lot of traffic just because of, everyone being more on the internet. Everyone's searching, the next, how to get alcohol delivery, how to get something curbside, et cetera. So we've been really raking in a lot, 20% more traffic, through weeks on end, which has been exciting. And so we've been like, okay, let's think about maybe doing more merch, more merchandise, shirts, et cetera, and so on. And so we've been kind of putting out little things here into the ether to see if people would buy or be interested. And it's kind of been a slow grind on that end, and people either not being interested or not paying or not getting through the whole checkout system. And so I've been having thoughts of what could our marketing do to help people want to purchase a Bob Cut shirt or purchase a magazine, physical, piece of item, than just, reading an article and being like, peace, bye, out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So thoughts on that?
No, I love it. So the main two things that you're selling right now is merch, is your shirts, which are super cute. And this boy
I'm looking at him right now.
Curly hair boy.
I know, right?
And then the mag. Got it. Interesting.
I'm looking through also.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if.
I like the shirt.
So how have you been selling your magazine beforehand?
Yeah, so the magazine's made to order. So it basically, once we get an order, we just put it in through our printer. The printer makes a original copy of it, sends it out. So we don't have to actually hold any physical stock, which is great.
Amazing.
So that's kind of how we've been doing that. And every time we release an issue every 6 months, so one in July, one December, and we usually get huge bumps around those times when the issue releases, and then it kind of quiets off through the rest of the last 4 months until the next issue release.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're thinking of do we pad that with merchandise, whether it's shirts, socks. Don't really want to do face masks. I don't want to take advantage of what's going on in this current climate personally, but something to pause over.
Mm-hmm. So when, I guess what is something that you could do that can show people that what is in the magazine? Because right now on your Instagram, I see that an issue is available, but I'm you sell it very randomly, or not sporadically, not as much. And I get why too. But I'm wondering if there's a way that in each post, it always brings it back to the mag and talks about why it's there. In our Instagram content planning course, we have this, go into your insights, check at the insights of your most clicked posts, and look at why they are clicking on it. And most of the time it's because there's a very one-to-one relationship between what you're posting, what you're saying in the caption. And it's so simple. It's go up to the link and buy the magazine, or look at the magazine, or see the, I don't know, like if see the top tips of like restaurants that you should go. I don't really know. I'm not the copywriter of this group here, but what I know is that being like saying it very directly will correlate to more people clicking through. And I think it's about finding that balance of if that's what you need to sell, like how do you sell that often?
Yeah, it's something that we've been thinking about in terms of, is like, our some of our main focus has been digital content, and that's kind of where we're getting so much traffic on. And when we post, 3 times a week about whatever subject that's going on with San Francisco, should we just keep bashing people over the head with, hey, we have a shirt available and you should buy it. Here's a pop-up, click up. Oh, click it now. Like, is it, in my head, I'm thinking like, am I like bashing it over people's heads to be like, buy this damn thing?
Is there any way that you could put together a magazine about what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Well, actually, funny enough, for issue 10, we have our 10th issue coming out in July, August area. We're doing a really fun cover story on FaceTime portraits.
Oh, actually, Colleen just suggested a zine, but maybe there's an insert that you can add into magazines as a bundle. That's like, in addition to this, we're adding something about Corona, something about local businesses in San Francisco, something that people really want to know or support. And have that be in there. Maybe it is portraits of maybe it's portraits of founders, restaurant owners, people who have been infected in your Bob Cut shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do a promo also, like team them up with a restaurant that you're featuring, and like maybe have like a discount code for for like delivery or for like an item that you featured, or, something like that. Or maybe if someone subscribes, they get a free shirt. But are you using Instagram stories? I don't see any stories today or any highlights.
Yeah, so we do Instagram stories with like routine updates every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
We pulled away from doing highlights just because it got to a point where we were opening our highlights and it was just like, again, that string of highlights. It's not very entirely what happened, and that personally offends me. But something, probably highlights is something we need to also reintegrate into our 360 channels.
Yeah, like maybe if the highlights were something, especially for right now, that could be like a guide, in categories. So like restaurants, like drinks, like, things that you can get delivered, places you can pick up, like that, whatever the content is, but just categorizing it into that, into organized highlights. But I think doing like a promo with an issue would be great too. And it could help so many other businesses.
Yeah. And also, Anthony, you're such a talent. Like, I want to see if you're comfortable, like videos of you opening up issue 8, going to your favorite page or article that you wrote and being like, you guys, let me tell you the story about this photo shoot because it was amazing and this person is amazing and I want this story to be shared. So support us by buying this magazine and let me tell you a little bit about what it is. I feel like I would watch that. I think that you can be the voice of Bob Cut if you are comfortable with that.
Totally, yeah. I mean, something it's thoughts that I definitely have thought about. It's just like then thinking like, is it going to be the right like fit overall? But it's one of those things I have to remember to like just do the damn thing and see if the damn thing works out.
Yeah, and delete it if it's not the damn thing. Not too fast though.
I think, do the damn thing. I think that's pretty much, I appreciate your guys' insights on those. I think for me, it's just like having to remember to 360 our content with the magazine and our merch and just to keep everything in the same exosphere.
Yeah, because your consumers don't always know how you make money. Like, right? And I think that's the part that people are always a little weird about. It's like, I don't want to tell them that I need money. But this has been the situation where, yeah, like it's actually okay to talk about what helps, you know, and what actually keeps the lights on, keeps the pixels on for us too. So I think you are a very creative person. Just looking at Bob Cut already, I think just don't worry about the ways that you've seen other people do it. Like you already know you don't like it, so don't worry about it. And now give yourself the space to think about it the way Anthony would do it.
Gotcha. Amazing. Yeah. Perfect. That's exactly things I need to hear.
Go get it.
Work, sis.
Awesome. Well, I know that we ran a little bit over, but we have time for one more. But if you have to go, we completely understand. Just before you head out, we wanted to let you know that, first of all, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Just watching the chat during everyone's examples has warmed my heart. This community is so supportive. I'm so happy that we were able to have this, and it seems like everyone's going to hopefully stay in touch. And if someone, you know, had an example that you really felt moved by, reach out and chat with them. And if we didn't get to you, I hope that, you know, this experience allowed you to kind of get in this problem solving mindset and you reach out to other people who are in here, because it seems like everyone's super down to just collaborate and talk it out. So yeah, just really quick before we head into our last example, thank you so much to Sean from Copycat Copywriters. And Danica from Danica Daily PR. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to be sending like a really quick feedback survey. And if you complete that, you will get a special discount code on any I Love Creatives course. Additionally, Copycat Copywriters is offering a free piece of content. So please reach out to Sean if you would like. And Danica, her PR company is offering a free phone consultation if you're interested in that as well.
I would totally do that. This girl's got ideas.
Thank you. They are limited. So, but if you go on the site, there's some time slots and you can just grab one.
Ooh. Sorry, trying to stop share. All right, and then for our last example, we are going to have, just had it. Oh man, sorry. Ooh. Just chatted with her.
Oh yeah, you're like, you're going on.
Find it.
Chat, you have to DM Sean because he has no idea. Bless you.
Oh, it was Emily. Sorry, Emily. I'm gonna have Emily come on.
Wow, I love that there's so many people on video. The last one that we did didn't have that. Okay, hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
No, I actually took your general admission Photoshop class the other day.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry if your brain was exploding.
No, I mean, that's how I kind of got introduced to this community. So I'm thankful for it.
Rad.
Okay, I guess my question is that like many people right now, I was laid off from my gig, and it seems like I'm used to kind of the job hunting thing. Like I'm not new to it. But you know, my regular sort of outlets, I would say, like whether it be like LinkedIn or recruiters, everything is just kind of like dried up. And you kind of like look at job postings online and see like the over 200 applicants and stuff like that. So I'm curious about like how to make yourself stand out as a job candidate in this current climate. And then also, you know, as a second part of that question, if you're kind of looking to switch industries right now because, you know, push comes to shove, maybe that's the right thing to do. How do you approach just switching your industry and trying out, like making like connections in another place that you might not have any connections in?
Can we ask what it is that you do right now and what you're interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I worked in fashion. I'm like a marketing PR coordinator. I was working in the fashion industry, like in-house marketing, and then switched to like home design and kind of saw those sort of like how the industries is shifting. Fashion and stuff might not be the most stable place anymore. So I would say like interests that I have is like, whether it be like tech, social media, or some place in like film, and the other like more creative industries that are kind of adjacent.
I mean, I feel like, and you do marketing, so I feel like you are definitely going to be in need, but there's a lot of people in marketing, as I'm sure you're seeing. I mean, personally, what I've been seeing is a lot more people who have digital or have their own brands or have their own businesses are really hurting to try to figure out how to be better at digital, like just across the board, whether it's running virtual events, whether it's brand partnerships, community management, any kind of creation digitally, even web merchandising, like Shopify e-commerce merchandising, email marketing has been huge. There's just so many holes, and a lot of brands don't necessarily know where they're falling down. But as a consumer, as someone from the outside, you can see all those things. And I wouldn't quite give up on fashion. I think that, I mean, at least personally from friends of mine, some of them have been thriving. And the reason why is sometimes it's product based. Sometimes they have a hand mist or a mask or loungewear, or they figured out how to spin sunscreen, or skin or was skincare. But you have to pay attention to like the ones and what they're doing right now. And I feel like there still is a possibility, but because you do so many things, maybe it's about figuring out how you can help and how you can network and with the right people.
Yeah, totally. And to piggyback on that and answer your question about how to stand out right now, I think one of the big things that we're going to see is being that so many people are going to have a lot of time during this era. They're really going to enhance their digital presences. So I think the resume is going to get paired a lot with the Instagram and the Reel and the other platforms that you can demonstrate as a portfolio. And so I think in terms of standing out, this could be a fantastic time for you to collect all your work that you've done, any new ideas that you've had, and centralize them onto one platform that you're going to be able to use alongside your resume. So it's not just, your resume that's going out with these incredible companies that you've worked for and things you've done, but it's your resume and then 3 other pieces that they can then take and consume and say, wow, this is what this person has done. This is their specific work. And then this is also how they responded to COVID in a lot of ways. And yeah, I think that right now there's a lot of time to focus on that. And that's going to be one of the trends we're going to see.
Cool, thank you.
And did you say you did home design? You did home design, or that's something you want to do?
Yeah, the last job that I had was for like a interiors company, so like high-end lighting, and then previously it's been mostly just like independently owned fashion brands.
So maybe you could look at something like, becoming, because people, since everyone's stuck at home, they're like redesigning like their space to make it more comfortable. So maybe you could look at something like Modzy to be like a designer with them, or with Spoke, which is I love Spoke. Basically, like you have a dedicated designer and they help you kind of like map out your space. Like you take pictures and they pull together some really great products within a price point that you choose and like within your style. So they might be looking for designers, so you could look into something like that. It's literally like pulling products, so you don't have to like mock them up.
I need that.
They're awesome. I love them. Like even if you just need like a corner, like it doesn't have to be your whole house. Like if you're like, my entryway table looks like crap and I need help, like they'll help you like curate that.
What is the website again?
Spoak, SPOAK.
SPOAK.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I have another question. This might be too personal and you don't have to answer it, but like, cause there is like I need money. I need money. And then there's I'm very lucky that I got PUA or unemployment. Like, are you in camp A more or camp B more?
I mean, I'm on unemployment right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm one of those weird outlier people where I'm actually making a little bit more money on unemployment than I was making at my last job. So that was kind of another sign for me that I was like, okay, like maybe my industry isn't really like paying me as, much as I want if, I'm kind of falling in this bracket where now I'm making more money on unemployment than I was in my career, which is like a really odd place to be, but obviously that I'm very thankful for. But yeah, so I would say definitely now I have been focusing on a lot more of like self-education and, taking courses through like General Assembly and stuff like that, looking into going back to school. But I mean, ultimately, we all need to find our next job, and I want to find some place that makes me happy. So that's why I think about, like moving industries, because my industry either like didn't pay me enough before and it kind of made me miserable. So
yeah. And it also might be the very specific place that you went to too. That was the reason for that. I mean, I remember in 2008 when I got laid off, it was like I got unemployment as well. And I was just like, oh man, I'm now reassessing, like, do I even want to be a creative director at an advertising agency? Like, I don't know if that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I was in the need of money. Like I was like, nope, I actually have to make some cash right now. So I took work that I knew I could do. It still didn't pay any better, but at least like I had that covered. And then on the side, I was trying lots of different things. Same thing as you. Like I was looking and just experimenting and like seeing the things that are kind of latching on for me. And also honestly, just telling a lot of people, like, I'm trying to figure stuff out. I think I'm interested in this. Like, because when that happened, I was talking to my husband's boss and he was like, oh, okay, well, would you ever be interested in doing UX design? And I didn't even know that existed. And it was just, I think it's like, if you can put yourself in a position where you're talking to a lot of people, it's a really good way to see new things, to hear about opportunities and jobs in different ways, versus just reading it on the internet based on what you're searching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that I feel like you are lucky right now, and that's great. And so you can take some of that time to just see what Emily wants to do and play, and then just really, know what your runway is, because at some point you are going to have to actually like get in there and do it. But I think that you can make money, that you'll be able to find a job at some point. And if not, like, just reach out to all of us here, just let us know. Like, we'll have our eyes and our ears open for everybody. You never know, but that's hopefully that was helpful.
Oh, thank you. It's great.
Awesome. Well, thank everybody for coming. We really appreciate it. And this was great. I feel inspired.
Sean's always feeling inspired.
But yeah, we, hopefully let us know if you enjoyed this. And if you did, let us know if we should do another. In the meantime, definitely, I hope everyone's able to connect from this chat if you had a chance to share your information. And definitely go to that feedback form and let us know what you thought. And I hope everyone has a great rest of their night.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was super fun. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Danica. It was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puno, for putting
having
all this
us.
together.
I
Yeah.
didn't put it all together. That was definitely Sean and Emma. Those guys, they're the ones who did it.
Thank you, Sean and Emma.